Are you looking for professional training in forensic mental health?
So you start to realize the range of stalking behaviors is quite broad, and when we talk about stalking, we really are talking about a lot of really quite different things. So we've tried to develop something that could capture all those different scenarios, those different forms of stalking. Could capture the variability in the victims that we see and the variability in the perpetrators. We think we've done a pretty good job with the SAM. I mean, sometimes this is called psychological terrorism. In Canada, the anti-stalking law, it's not a stalking law, it's a criminal harassment law. So, just harassing behaviors that can be very far from how we traditionally think about violence. But a lot of it amounts to emotional abuse, intimidation. And so we're going to have to start thinking, defining stalking not just around the behaviors, but also the effects it has on the victim. So even if it starts off good, we know it can end very, very badly. And that's what risk assessment is going to have to understand and assess the dynamic nature of the risk. It can fluctuate, and it can fluctuate very quickly. We can have multiple victims. Again, the tendency to focus on the obvious people, the primary perpetrator and a primary victim. I had one case, and again, a lot of these cases tend to be domestic violence, but this guy was not handling his divorce very well, but the person we had to protect in that case, because he was so vicious towards her, was the mother-in-law. So this was a guy that he was clearly very personality disordered, very explosive, and was just leaving harassing, screaming, angry, threatening phone calls to the mother-in-law, to the point where it was the mother-in-law that actually had to be relocated. She actually had to move and change addresses, and she had to change the province where she was living. She was the one that was at risk. To him, his former wife was an angel. She could do no wrong, and it was everybody else's fault that was getting in the way of him reestablishing a relationship with her. So we have to remember that the family members of the victims can certainly be at risk.
To learn more about Concept's professional training opportunities, visit us at concept-ce.com.